the fact is, it's down to the politicians. Brexit has been happening for a while. What have they negotiated in relation to borders? If they're saying that EU aren't cooperating, well, it's not our job, the viewers' job, to make them cooperate. It's the MP's job. What have they been doing? They haven't been doing their jobs. They've got nowhere with it. And now they're trying to blame the EU by saying, oh, well, they haven't controlled their borders.
Yeah.
Well, the EU's been borderless for years.
I understand all that. And I think just something that you alluded to earlier, I think, was just a sense of, I suppose, human duty, as it were, really, to people that are naturally going to move and migration, etc., etc. And look, I understand all of that. Of course I do. But I think a lot of people might say as well, we have a human duty to people who are already here. We're coming up to Christmas now, and there'll be about 7,000 homeless military veterans on the streets. There'll be a lot of people, homeless generally, really, including in some cases just children. Whereas I think some members of the British public might have an issue with the idea that someone who's just arrived on a dinghy can have a roof over their head in a hotel this Christmas Day, whereas some veterans, for example, might not be able to.
It's not the fault of the migrant that they get put up in hotels.
It's not that, but I think it's. I'm saying people might want our politicians to do that, to handle that differently. Really, do you not think?
Yeah. I think that duty to house everybody. So the failings of this government, that they're failing to house our veterans, failing to keep them off the streets, failing to help the homeless, that shouldn't be blamed on somebody who's coming in, who's seeking refuge from us. It's a failing of the person who provides it. We shouldn't finger point. It's not the migrant that's stealing a roof. So what we've got to realise is we've got to blame the politicians here, and we've got to help them out. As for people who are already here, there's 1.5 million people living illegally already in the UK who've been living here for up to even 15 years off the radar. Now, instead of chasing them around and spending 10 grand to 100 grand trying to get them out of the country, they haven't got permission to work. Wouldn't it be wiser if we brought them all in on a yearly visa and said, right, come and pay tax, take the jobs, take the care home jobs that are at the moment that we need, take the lorry driver jobs that we're doing, that they're willing to do, train them up and have them help our country. Why don't we make immigration work for us as opposed to us working for immigration? We've got these people here. Bring them into the system. Let them pay tax. We're not going to give them permanent visas. Let's have a situation where we say to them, you can't claim any benefits. You have to pay for your own NHS. You're responsible for yourselves, own rent. You're not going to get anything free, but work and pay your tax and contribute to the country. I guarantee those 1.5 million people would come into the fold, would boost this economy, and would take all of these jobs that the British people can't do, are unwilling to do, or don't seem to be able to fill, and the shortage occupation jobs.